an international finance expert, joins us now from the East Midlands in the UK. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Doctor.
It's Gewolb, actually.
Gewolb.
Thank you.
See, I told my team I should have asked before. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for being with us. So why hasn't the British economy recovered as well as other G7 countries? And does it have to do with Brexit?
It could have to do with Brexit. It could have to do with the weather. It could have to do with astrological movements or pigs in Siberia, or who knows, because basically Brexit has sort of dissipated given all the turmoil in this country. They used to say that in Canada, you could tell what will happen for the next 20 years, whilst in Israel, you can't tell what's going to happen after 20 minutes. But now, Israel is kind of like Canada compared to the United Kingdom. This place is a total mess. Today, we have ambulances, nurses, post railways, highways, firemen, everybody on strike, and this is for the umpteenth time. One could almost think the country is falling apart. It is in such a complete mess. We've had so many prime ministers that they're thinking of removing the question, who is our prime minister, from the National Health Service official dementia test. It's
all right.
It's just it's right. Crazy.
An abundance of cynicism there, including how well Israel is doing. I've never heard anyone compare Israel to Canada, but I do want to ask you, what about new trade deals? I mean, the UK has made new deals with Australia and New Zealand, but trade deals with some of the biggest players, such as US and China, remain elusive, right? It's very unclear where those are headed. Is that because of the political situation in the UK?
Sure. I mean, it's not a climate in which one is going to invest all that readily, and countries are the same, of course. They're holding back on the trade deal to make sure we have a prime minister and a chancellor of the exchequer in office long enough to sign the thing. People really aren't talking much about Brexit here. As I say, it's become quite dissipated because of all the crises going on and what people's daily concerns are. It's sort of gone to the back of the agenda. People aren't paying much attention to it other than to weaponize it. So both here and on the continent in Europe, anything goes wrong, it's Brexit, or it's that we should have stayed, or we should have left, or we should even companies that negotiate deals with each other where they can't agree on price are claiming it's because of Brexit.
Doctor, what are you still trying to do? I see that you're wearing a still trying.
I'm still trying to get the government to do some sensible things that will take some of the pressure off us. The Bank of England is probably going to raise interest rates. Thank you for asking the question. They're going to raise interest rates again today for the 10th time in the last sort of 13, 14 months. This is totally insane. The UK is suffering from cost push inflation, not demand pull inflation. Cost push is where materials and services go up in price, exacerbated by Putin, Ukraine war, etc. Demand pull is where we're all spending too much money. That's when you raise interest rates. As I say, we've had 9 raises in 13 months. It's not done a thing to reduce inflation nor protect, that's the other argument, the pound against the dollar. So number one, they've got to stop raising interest rates. Number two, they've got to cut taxes. They're going to raise them again, many of them through stealth taxes, where they don't actually raise the rate, but they widen the net. We are the highest tax country in all of Europe and UK, and we are at a 70-year high in taxation, and yet they're going to raise taxes again. The government, my theory is, because they're in so much trouble, they've lost so much ground, they're trying to build up a war chest of cash. So when the next general election comes, within the next 2 years, they can say, hey, look, we made all this money for you, and now we're going to really cut taxes, and they will hope that that will get them in.
Okay. Dr. Roger Gewolb, thank you very much for joining us from the UK.
Thank you.
Thank you.